Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the point interference in involute gears. Our subject is theory of machine 2. So in earlier video we seen that the derivations of length of path of contact, length of arc of contact, again the contact ratio. Today we are going to see the interference in involute gears. So we know that what is meant by interference. Okay, so see here this diagram, we already seen this diagram. Okay, there is nothing will be changed here. So figure shown in pinion with center O1 in mesh with wheel or gear of center O2. So see here, this is what O2, that is center of this pinion. Again this O2, this is the what center of this wheel. Okay, both are in with mesh with each other. That is what I will zoom this figure. Okay, so see here, this is what base circle of this pinion. This is what base circle of pinion, and here this is here base circle of wheel, this line. Okay, now next is what, see here, this is what actual addendum circle, this is what actual addendum circle of pinion, and this is what maximum addendum circle. Okay, now in this wheel side, okay, this is what P circle, this is what actual addendum circle, and this is what maximum addendum circle. So all this marking will be there. Okay, now again we know that we already seen that, that is what Kp, and this Kp is nothing but path of approach. Okay, this PL is nothing but what, path of recess. Okay, and this Kp plus PL, that is what KL, this KL is nothing but what, this whole KL is nothing but what, length of path of contact. Now interference property will be there. Okay, so we will see what is meant by interference in involute gears one by one. This is what diagram. Okay, this phi angle will be there. This is what pressure angle. The Mn is a common tangent to the base circle and KL. This Mn is a common tangent to the base circle and KL is a path of contact between two mating teeth. Okay, so see here, this Mn will be there. This is M point will be here. Okay, this M point will be here. Okay, and this N point will be here. Okay, this Mn is a common tangent to the base circle and KL is a path of contact between two mating surfaces. Mn is nothing but what, common tangent to the base circle. So see here, this is what base circle of wheel. Okay, this line. Okay, and this is here, see here, this is what the base circle. Again this is what base circle of this pinion. So this line is nothing but what, common tangent to these two base circles. This is what point M, this is point N, and this is point M. Okay, this is what common tangent. A little consideration will show that if the radius of addendum circle of pinion is increased to O1N, the point of contact L with a move from L to N. So see here, suppose this point O1 to L. So okay, this point O1, so in this figure this point O1 will be here. Okay, this point O1 will be here. This O1 to L, this O1 to L, this L point will be here. Okay, the O1 to L shifted to this up to point this N. So what happens here, now the length of path of contact, this shifted to Kp, this Kp instead of the L shifted to N. Okay, similarly in the wheel side, okay, when the radius further increased to point L or contact L will be on the inside of base circle of wheel and not to involute profile of the tooth of the wheel. Okay, that means if this point L shifted to N, okay, further this point N shifted to the this inside side, okay, then that means this point is in the base circle of this wheel. So that because of that, what happens, the base circle of the wheel and not on the involute profile of the tooth on the wheel. Okay. The tip of the tooth on the pinion will then undercut the tooth on the wheel at the root and remove the part of the involute profile of the tooth on the wheel. Suppose that means that this basically first point is that main distance is at O1 to L. So this O1 to L, up to L. Okay. Now this point L is shifted to up to N. Now next distance is what? O1 to N. Okay. That means is initially what? KL is what? Path of contact. Okay. Now L point is shifted to N. That means now it point becomes to KN. Okay. If the point N moves to the what? Further increased, this radius further increased up to this inside the base circle, then what happens? This will cut the or undercut the tooth profile of this wheel. Okay. So what happens? Because of that, the teeth will be undercut the tooth of the wheel. This effect, because of that, this effect is nothing but what? Interference of involute tooth. That means if this O1N, the radius is increased beyond this base circle, okay, that means the point will be in the inside of the base circle. Because of that, what happens? This pinion will then undercut the tooth on the wheel and the root at the root and remove the part of the involute profile of the tooth of the wheel. This effect is nothing but what? Interference of the wheel. Okay. So this effect is known as the interference and occurs when the teeth are being cut. When it occurs when the teeth are being cut. In brief, the phenomena when the tip of tooth undercuts the tooth root in on its mating gears is known as the interference. In brief, that is called as the phenomena when the tip of tooth undercuts the root on its mating gear is known as the interference. That means suppose two teeth, gears or two teeth are in meshing. Suppose this one teeth undercuts the profile of another teeth, then it this phenomena is known as a interference. That means damage will be occur there. So similarly, that we already seen that that is what in a pinion. In same consideration will be we will see in the wheel. Okay. Similarly, if the radius of the addendum circle of wheel increased beyond O2M, then the tip of tooth on wheel cause interference with the tooth on pinion. Suppose I will draw here figure. Suppose this teeth will be here. Okay. Another one teeth will be meshing with this one. Okay. This is what engagement and disengagement will be there. Okay. That means when interference occurs, so this is what mating teeth will be here. Okay. When interference occur, suppose one teeth will be like here and another one teeth meshes like that. So what happens? This teeth will be cut this teeth. Okay. This teeth will be cut this teeth. So what happens here? Some that is what pit will be there. That means the teeth will be, suppose this teeth will be like, okay, that is what here wear will be occur. So this wear is nothing but what? Interference. Okay. Similarly, if the radius of addendum circle of the wheel increases beyond O2M, then the tip of the tooth on the wheel cause interference with the tooth of pinion. So similarly, see here, we seen in pinion, now we will see in wheel. Okay. Now in wheel, this O2 will be the center of this wheel. Okay. Now main point is that O2, this K, this is a main point. Okay. If we increase this point K up to M, that is what? O2M. O2 will be here, M will be here. Okay. If we increase the radius of this O2M or all this wheel up beyond this M, that means the point will be here. Suppose here. Okay. That means the point will be the inside of this base circle of the pinion. So because of that, what happens? The teeth of this wheel undercuts the teeth of this pinion and the interference will be occur. That means wear will be occur of this pinion teeth of the pinion. Okay, the point M and R, the point M and N are called interference points. That means the point M and N are called interference point. Because of that, what happens, beyond this point M, if we increase the radius beyond this point M, or we can increase the radius beyond this point N, then what happens, interference occur. So these 2 points are known as interference points. Okay, if we increase the radius beyond this point M, then what happens, the interference will be occur on the pinion side. If we increase the radius beyond this point N, then what happens, interference will be occur on the wheel side. That means these 2 points are the limit points, or these points are known as interference points. To avoid interference, we cannot increase the radius beyond this point M and N. Obviously, interference may be avoided if the path of contact does not extend beyond the interference point. That is what I already stated, that interference may be avoided if the path of contact does not extend beyond the interference point. Okay, this interference point is what, M and N. We have to avoid the path of contact between these 2 points. That is what, these 2 points are the limit points, or limit conditions will be there for the path of contact. The limiting value of radius of the addendum circle of the pinion is O1N, and for the wheel O2M. That is what, O2M, that is what for the wheel, this is what limiting radius. Okay, and for pinion O1N, this is what the limiting radius. We conclude that the interference may only be avoided, that we are going to conclude that the interference may only be avoided if the point of contact between 2 teeth, if the point of contact between 2 teeth is always on the involute profiles of both the teeth. That means the points of contact of 2 teeth is always on the involute profiles of the both teeth. In other words, interference may be prevented if the addendum circles of 2 mating gears cuts the common tangent to the base circles between the point of tangency. This is what conclusion. That is, conclusion is nothing but what, interference may be prevented. We are going to prevent if the addendum circles of 2 mating gears. Now see here, addendum circles of 2 mating gears cut the common tangent to the base circles between the point of tangency. So see here, addendum circle. Where is the addendum circle? This is what addendum circle of wheel will be there. Addendum circle of this pinion will be there. Okay, and the addendum circle meets where it meets. Suppose this meets here. Okay, now what happens if they meets, the point of tangency cuts here. Okay, the point of tangency cuts your base circle here and here. Okay, so these are the points, is nothing but what, we have to avoid the interference. Then these 2 points will be too much important. When the interference is just avoided, the maximum length of path of contact is mm. When the interference is just avoided, the maximum length of path of contact is mn. When the maximum addendum circles for the pinion and wheel pass through the points of tangency n and m respectively, as shown in figure. That is what we said in earlier. In such a case, the maximum length of path of approach, that is MP, is equal to, that means the maximum path of contact. Okay, in previous one, the path of contact, we already derived the equation, that is what KP is KL, that is what KP plus PL, that is what path of contact. KP is what path of approach, and PL is what path of recess. But the addition of these 2, we got here path of contact. Now we are going to see the maximum path of contact, to avoid the interference. That is what here, see here. Then now here, path of approach. In earlier condition, we seen that the path of, in earlier case or derivation, we seen that path of approach, that is what KP. Now in that case, we are going to see the maximum path of approach will be the, see here, the maximum path of approach will be the MP. That means the point K shifted to M. Okay, this is nothing but what, our small r into sine of phi. Okay, now next, maximum path of recess. In earlier derivation we seen that maximum path of recess, that is what PL will be here. Okay, now in that case, in the case that the maximum, to avoid the interference, the maximum path of recess will be the this Pn. Okay, and this Pn is nothing but what, capital R into sine of phi. So maximum length of path of contact, the maximum length of path of contact is, this is nothing but what, addition of the maximum length of path of approach and maximum length of path of recess. That means Mp plus Pn is equal to Mn. So see here, Mn is equal to Mp plus Pn. This Mn is equal to Mp plus Pn. This Mp is nothing but what, maximum path of approach, and this Mn is nothing but what, maximum path of recess. By addition of these two we got here Mn. This Mn is nothing but what, maximum length of path of contact. Now we got here Mp is equal to what, small r into sine phi, and Pn is equal to what, capital R into sine of phi. Now from these two terms we got here sine of phi. This is what, common term. So get common sine phi. We got here small r plus capital R into sine of phi is equal to what, maximum length of path of contact. So maximum length of arc of contact, we know that in terminology we seen that, or in derivation we seen that the maximum length of arc of contact, or simply arc of contact, this is nothing but what, length of path of contact divided by cos of phi. So in that case, maximum length of arc of contact is equal to maximum length of path of contact divided by cos of phi. So see here, maximum maximum arc of contact is equal to small r plus capital R into sine of phi divided by cos of phi. In that case, see here, this small r plus capital R into sine of phi, this is nothing but what, maximum length of path of contact divided by this cos of phi. So sine of phi divided by cos of phi, this is nothing but what, tan of phi. So we directly got maximum length of arc of contact is equal to small r plus capital R into tan of phi. This is what, maximum length of arc of contact. In such a case, that is what, in the, to avoid the interference in the two mating gears, in the such case we seen that the in case addendum on a pinion and wheel is such a that the path of approach and path of recess are half of the maximum possible values, then if we said that the path of approach and path of recess are half of the maximum values, then path of approach, that is Kp, is equal to half of Mp. We seen that. Okay, therefore we know that the formula, that is path of approach, is nothing but what, under root path of approach we seen in derivation, that is what, formula is what, under root capital Ra square minus r square into cos square of phi is minus r into sine of phi is equal to, we seen that Mp is nothing but what, r into sine of, small r into sine of phi, okay, divided by these two. Okay, half Mp will be there. That means half Mp will be there. Okay, so we know that the value of Mp is nothing but what, r into sine of phi divided by these two is equal to what, our value. So put the value here. Okay, now path of recess, that is PL is equal to half of Pn. Okay, PL we already seen the formula of PL, that is what, under root small Ra square minus r square into cos square phi minus small r into sin phi is equal to r sin of phi divided by 2. Therefore the length of path of contact, this is what, new length of path of contact is equal to Kp plus PL is equal to half Mp plus half Pn. So add these two terms, that is what, Kp plus this PL, that means path of approach plus path of recess is equal to path of contact. So Kp plus P is equal to half Mp plus half Pn. Put the values here. So we got here small r plus capital R into sine of phi divided by 2. That means sine of phi will be common here. To take common term, again the small r plus capital R divided by 2 into this sine of phi. This is what, length of path of contact. So this is what pictorial view of this beginning of engagement and end of engagement. Suppose see here, this is what beginning. Suppose that means this gear rotates in what, this clockwise manner, and this gear will be rotates in anti-clockwise manner. So what happens, this will be rotate in dash direction, this will be rotated in direction. That means here the beginning of engagement will be there. See here beginning of engagement will be there. Okay, similarly in this figure, again this figure will be there. Okay, here engagement process will be there. Okay, now end of engagement, that means here this point, here see here this gear rotates in that direction, this gear in that direction. Okay, these two wheels. Okay, suppose this wheel is what wheel, this will become a pinion. So what happens, this teeth begins to disengagement. Okay, this is moves in this direction, so this will be in end of engagement or disengagement will be there. Similar condition will be here. Okay, this teeth becomes moves here and this will be moves here. Okay, so that means this will be a disengagement condition. Again another one figure will be there. Okay, so this is what pinion, this is what the gear. Okay, same thing will be there. Okay, so this pinion will be rotated in this manner. Okay, so this will be gear will be in a opposite direction. So what happens, so this is what beginning of engagement, where it is what here beginning of engagement will be there. Okay, again this case, this is what disengagement of the gear will be there, or end of engagement will be, we can say this is what end of engagement. Okay, similar thing will be there, this is what beginning of engagement. So here beginning of engagement will be there, and here end of the engagement will be there, or this is what disengagement will be there. These two figures shows the beginning of engagement and end of the engagement. Okay, again direction will be given, that is what one is what in clockwise direction, another one is what anti-clockwise direction. This is what the interference of the involute gears. To avoid interference, we can say some methods will be there to eliminate gear tooth interference. In certain designs, if the interference exists, it can be overcome by, that is first point is that removing the cross hatched tooth tips, that is using stub teeth. This is what first one. Second is what increasing the number of teeth on the mating pinion, that is what increasing number of teeth on a mating pinion, we can increase the teeth to avoid the interference. Okay, third is what increasing the pressure angle, that is what angle phi, we can increase the pressure angle to minimize or to eliminate the interference. If the interference occur, then we have to increase the pressure angle and see the if see that the interference is avoid or not. Okay, otherwise if interference is occurs, then increase the number of teeth and see that the interference is disappear or not. Okay, again fourth one is what tooth profile modification or profile shifting. Tooth profile modification, that means we already seen that cycloidal profile will be there and involute profile will be there. If see that in which profile the gear tooth will be fit to avoid the interference. Okay, and fifth one is what increasing the center distance, increase the center distance to avoid the interference of the tooth. Thank you.